All right, welcome back to Drone Pilot Moonshine. What I got here, so I got what's left of that 50-pound sack of corn, and my little puppy has found a paper towel. Let me get that paper towel from him. Let me have this. Need shredded paper towel all over the place. You want to be in the shot? Come here, Loki. So this is Loki. You guys remember him? So what we got here, I've got, we ran 20 pounds, 10 pounds each jar last time of corn, with just corn, and I ran some enzyme. This time I bought some malted barley, and so I've got 15 pounds each of cracked corn, and I bought a 5-pound sack of 2-row malted barley, so I've got 2.5 pounds in each. So we're going to go ahead and run this today and see what we get. That way I can refill that 10 liter, but I think I'm going to have to go down and get some more corn. I thought I had corn, but I used the corn to put in the 5 liter barrel, so I'm going to be a little short. So we're going to definitely have to get more cracked corn and run some. Let me go ahead and pause you guys. All right, let's turn you around. Let me show you what I got going here. So I went ahead and put some water in here. I'll add some more water. We'll get it heated up first. Got my basket and corn and barley there. So we're gonna get her heated up, get it started. All right, got you in the, I need the sparker. All right, let's get this hot. I'm fired up. And then we'll add the corn, and let's see, got this turned on. Let's turn on our gas there. Turn this oxygen level down a little bit. Turn that on. Here. There we go. Get a little more airflow. There we go. And get that hot. All right, let me go ahead and I'll let the water get a little warm before I add the corn, but we got her going there. Let me pause you guys. When the water's heating up, let's go ahead and pour the corn in our basket here. Put this in there. See what that looks like in the basket. That's about 15, get it all in there. I'll rinse that out. That's about 15 pounds of cracked corn in there. Wish that was gold. Well, I guess it is gold in a way if you were selling it. The alcohol, but I don't sell it, so not that big of a deal. But anyway, there's 15 pounds cracked corn in there. All right, let's pause this. All right, that's getting up to, gotta be 95 degrees or so. Let's put this in, see how much. I want to add some more water to it. Really put that in there. Let's think. So it came up to about here, so I want to add a little more water. Show you guys what that looked like in there. So where's my spoon? Yeah, it's just barely below the surface, so I'm not paying attention to the camera. Hopefully I had you guys on that. But let me add some more water to it. Get that going here, okay. All right, I added a little more water to it. We're pretty close to the top. Of course, when I lift this out, we'll probably bring it down to about here. But that's where we're at right now, and yeah, she's barely room temperature. Maybe even after adding the water, it's still got to be 90 degrees or so. So let's go ahead and let that heat up, and I'll keep bringing you back. So I just wanted to show you we're at about 150 degrees. So we're getting warmed up here, but I wanted to show you how it's still very watery, and I just wanted to give you the idea. So as the starches get to boil out of here or cook out of here, you'll see this water getting thicker. So I kind of wanted to show you that before we got to that point, how it's still pretty watery now, but it'll get to like a chowder here in a little bit. So wanted to give you a quick little look at that. All right, I just wanted to show you we're about 30 minutes into temperature. It took about an hour to get up. Well, a half hour, I'm sorry, to get up. But I just wanted to show you it is thickening up. Hopefully you can see that on the camera there. I turned off the heat for a moment because it was starting to bubble and trying to boil over. So I stopped that before it all boiled over. But you can see how much thicker that got, and the corn is definitely filled up with water. It's not even sinking anymore to the bottom to where it was when I first put it in. You could see there was nothing on top, and now it's all over the place. So yeah, we're definitely gelatin starch stage on that. And there we go. Stir that up really well. Let that simmer for a little bit. But I just wanted to show you that. And in stages, show you our progress. All right, I wanted to show you, it's been about an hour, a little over an hour. I wanted to show you, let me put this on, because the spoon's gonna, how thick this is. So it is definitely, you can see that in the camera, it has gotten thick. We definitely have a corn chowder going here on that. So we'll let it cool down a little bit, and then probably give it another half hour or so, just cooling down, and then I'll start draining. I'll lift the basket out and let that drain. But I just wanted to show you the difference there. And boy, has that got a suction in there. But you can see just how thick that is. That'll be interesting to get out of there with that suction that's created. You see how that's how thick that is? So we definitely got some starches out of that. But all right, that's what we got going. Let me pause you. All right, temperature's down. It's probably 160 or so. We're gonna go ahead and put the barley in and see if we can. Don't jump on that thing. That thing's hot. That puppy jumping up thinks he's getting food. Let's put the barley in. Boy, that's gonna just fill this right up, isn't it? That's hot, dog. All right. Yes, Loki. He thinks everything's food to him, of course. All right, we'll stir this in. Put this all in here. This could take a little longer. Not quite as easy as just adding enzymes to it, is it? It takes a little bit to mix in here to break this up. We'll get it. You know, I wonder if I can use that paint. Got that paint mixer. Yeah, this is working pretty good. All right. So I don't know how long it takes to get this, because I've never done this before. Get all the enzymes out of the barley. It probably takes a few minutes to a half hour, I would think. This is all new to me. We are learning, so get that in there. Man, I'm losing my light. There we go. Sensor lights. Okay. Boy, it is definitely thick. I know you guys can see that on the thing, just how thick that is. All right, let's let that sit for a minute. Let me pause you guys. All right, I added the barley in there, stirred it in. It broke it up a little bit, but I think I miscalculated. I should have gone, I put in 2.5 pounds into 10 pounds. I should have probably used 5 pounds of the barley to the 10 pounds of corn to break that up to get the amylase, especially because I'm only using 2 row. Maybe I should have just went to 6 row, which from my understanding there's more amylase on there. So I'm going to go ahead and I've got amylase in there, some powdered amylase. I'm going to get that and throw that in there. Let me, hang on a second. All right, I went ahead and got some. So we're going to add a tablespoon and see what it gets. Should break it up some more. Broke it up a little bit, but not as much. There's still a lot of starches in there that need to be converted. Could always do the old iodine test. Drop some iodine in a tablespoon of this, and if it turns black, you still got starch. If it turns brown, you've converted to sugar. So let's convert. Let's put some amylase in here and stir that up a little bit. So we're at about 150 degrees on that. I don't think you want to put it in. And you can see that starting to work already. I mean, I can immediately feel it as soon as I start stirring. It's not as thick on that. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't have any iodine. I don't think I have any iodine. In fact, I know I don't have any iodine. I have peroxide. I don't have iodine. But you can see the liquids getting in there where before it was just a total chowder on that. So it did break it up. All right, let me stir this some more. Hang on. All right, I went ahead and added some amylase to it, and you can see it's thinned it out a little bit, or converted the starches to sugar. So that's looking pretty good there. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to have to lift this pot out and let it drain. That ought to be interesting. I tried lifting it out earlier. All right. That itself was a problem. I need to get my boards to set it on. Hang on. All right. I went ahead and lifted it out. I forgot to turn the camera back on, but we got it out. It's not making too big of a mess, so it's draining right now. We're going to let it drain there back into the pot. So I was worried whether these sticks were going to drain the water onto it, but don't seem to be draining off other than, so we'll let that drain down. Then I'll add sugar to it. It's still fairly warm. Should melt the sugar after it drains. Could pour it in there, I guess. Well, it's off to the side, but there we go. All right, so it's draining. All right, hang on. Thought I'd show you this. Let me take you off this little thing here. So I've had this thing sitting here. I was digging out stuff to see. So it's pretty much drained. I dug a little hole there with the spoon on that. So it's just dripping here and there. So I'm going to move it to this other bucket here. See if I can get you back in to the slot without dropping you, which I've been known to do. So hang on a minute. All right, hang on. Let's see if I can move this over here temporarily without making too big of a mess. Let's see. Hopefully that'll drain the rest of the way like that. Not gonna fall over, but got a pretty good pile going here. Not pile, but all right. So, you guys see in that pot? Not really. Let's see. There we go. So that's what we ended up with. I think that 7 gallons will fit in those jars right there. And that, and I need to add the sugar in there. Let me add the sugar. I should have opened the sugar up before I got you on. Let's open the sugar up. Mix this in here since it's nice and warm. It should melt the sugar. I'm just going to do 10 pounds. See what that does. Now, where's my spoon? Since we got it all clean now, I want a nice clean. Where's my towel? Oh yeah, that. I was expecting a big pile in there, but it melted it. No problem. It's still got to be 130 degrees or so. But that's already melted. Okay, let's put that here. Let's see, what's the temperature? It's going to be good and sticky now. $110. Still going up a little bit. 115. Tapering off there. Looks like it's 117 where we're at. So it's not too bad, but I'd say that was pretty perfect for getting the sugar going. Pause you guys, I'm standing here, I'm not even talking to you. Hang on a second. So there's our sugar, the corn, and the barley, and I had to add the enzyme because I miscalculated the barley on that, so that kind of sucks, but oh well. This was my first time adding barley. I should have added the whole 5-pound bag to that and bought a 5-pound bag for each one instead of separating. For some reason, I don't know why I had it. I have to double check, but I thought it was 2 pounds to 5, and I'm doing 10 pounds, so yeah, I totally missed that. And I think I'm going to buy the 6-row because that 2-row definitely did not convert all the starches. I had to add some amylase to it. So All right, I'm going to do one more. I'm probably going to do that tomorrow since I'm running out of time here. So we'll probably start another one tomorrow on that. And I'll just do a short video on that one. Probably add it to this one. All right, let's see if we can get it in the jar. It's cooled down a little bit. Still a little warm, not too bad. I poured a little in just to see if we get the jar, get it warmed up a little bit. Maybe I should. This is not going to go well. All right, hang on a second. There we go. That back down. I just want to make sure I'm not, because it is still warm. I don't want to get that glass, change that temperature too quick. You never know with a Chinese glass. Almost in there. That's not bad. Almost perfect run on that. I was afraid I was going to have to add a little bit of water, but did I make a mess? I did a little bit. All right, thank you for watching, and well, yeah, I'm going to still do the second one to add to this, so we'll have 2 pots in here. Hang on. All right, this has cooled down. I just want to throw the yeast in here, and then I'm also going to throw because it is winter time, we're going to throw in aquarium heater on this. So let's put some yeast in, get this starting to work. That is 2 teaspoons. Just a smidge more. Okay. So that'll start to work, and then we've got this aquarium heater we're going to put in. Actually, you know what? Let's stir this a little bit. Where's my spoon? All right. So that yeast gets absorbed a little bit. Just looks like it's floating. When it gets into the liquid, there we go. All right. That'll work. Put that there. Okay, now Loki wants to help with everything. Okay. And I'll put this on here. This is set to, I think it was 80 degrees that I had it set to. Yes, Loki. All right. We'll leave it on 80. That on there like that. Over here, and boom. And I was gonna do film on the same one, but I think I'm gonna do a separate one. I'm gonna make another one of these tomorrow. So this is first batch, and then I'm gonna make a second batch. All right, Loki, you gonna come with me? No. All right. So so this will be the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thank you.